Hello and welcome back to the Knitspinfibre podcast. My name is Kim. Today is Friday the 31st of July. I have two finished objects and a little tiny one. I didn't do a podcast last week. I only worked on my Sock Week socks that was run by Knitty Natty. So I did the hold on, tear on the back. I did the Garden Sprinkle socks by Vally. I think it's a free pattern. I remember, yes, it was a free pattern on their website. So my yarns are, oh, I've got the main ball here. I have another ball, some Starcraft head over heels in the Olympus colourway. And the colour does change quite a bit. I've done some of the head over heels before and it changes quite a bit. And it doesn't look like it, but it is actually a grey that goes into it as well. I think it's like a greyish colour. And then my second colour is some Truly Wool Rich in the soft rose colourway. So I altered the pattern. I ended up making some shorty socks. And when I first did the first ones, I did a mistake. Somewhere on here I dripped them out, so they are done. They have a rounded toe and I did just a normal heel gusset heel turn, and then I bought some new sock blockers. I have some metal ones and I don't really like them, so my sock blockers are by Knit Pro, and these are a medium, which is a Euro 38.40, which is like a 5 to 6 UK. So they fit in there, and they've still got a little tiny bit of room, so they're quite good. I'm quite pleased with these sock blockers. I needed some, and I do need to actually get another pair. Maybe next month I might get another pair. I need to get a large for when I do the men. So they are done. I did one repeat plus 2 rows, and then I started the heel turn. The heel flap before I did the heel turn. So no, my contrast is not that. That is for the other socks. My contrast is some King Cole Zigzag in the Ruby colourway, and then I used some 2.25mm. I used my Chagu circular needles. So that is my first ones. My second ones, I started some, these were my Christmas socks, and I tried them on. They were too long, so I did some sock surgery. I'll show you what I did in a minute. I took off quite a bit, so I took off that much. So I basically picked up the right leg all the way around, and I snipped it and took off what I needed. My main colour is by Yarn Candy, and it's got a really weird name, something like POV. It's got like a random name. I don't know if it's just like a one-off. And there's, like I said, and the contrast is some Truly Wool Rich in the soft rose colourway. So I have a second pair. These two pairs are going to go out when I go out to my daughter to live out in Cyprus, so I can use them when I'm out there. So they are done. I'm quite pleased. I do like the fact they are shorter, and they were done, I think they were 60 stitches, and these were 60 stitches. I normally do 60, no, these are 64 stitches, these were 60 stitches. So they are done. I still have one full ball, and then I still have some of the other left, which is upstairs. And then I had a little tiny one, so I did one of the squares to go in my batten bed quilt. Batten bed blanket, quilt blanket. So I'll leave that out because I'll show you the difference when you come to see my new cast on, which I'll show in a minute. So this is going to be going away. I'm just to quickly show you. So I'm doing for my daughter the Cedar, and it's the Cedar Stories. The Stories is the yarn and the pattern, and it's 10546. I am doing this one in this colourway. The colourways are, main colour is Afterglow, contrast one is Glamping, contrast 2 is Golden Hour. And I had a little bit left over. I've seen it. I have a little bit left over. It might be in the other bag. So the front and back, they're both the same. First side is done. I've done the straps. And I am on the second side. I'm using some some Knit Pro No Symphony Woods in a US 6, which is a 4mm, and I've just started the main part. So you do these 3, and then it's another, how many more? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then there's another 4 repeats before you do the top bit. So this is going to go away because, like I said, it's because we're coming into August tomorrow. It's my birthday month, so I'm going to be working on stuff for myself. So this will come out in September because this is for my daughter. So this will come out anyway because I want to get it finished, but it can wait. Okay, so we're going to ignore that. So I keep on going with that because I've put my sock blockers back into it when I'm not using them. Okay, I'll show you my other socks I've been working on. These are the ones I want to get done. These are my Vanilla is the New Black by Anna Fletcher. And it's basically, it's the heel. The rest of it's just plain. You can do what you put a pattern into it and whatever you want. I'm using some West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in the Blueberry Bonbon, which is the contrast. And some Blue Lagoon is my main colour. So that's my contrast yarn. And that's my main colour. I'm using my Chalgoo. These are my fixed circles. The other ones are on my interchangeable circles, and they're slightly, they are shorter. I do like the shorter set. I need to see if they've got this shorter set in the fixed circles, because if they have, I'd like to get some. So I did. I made them shorter. I took them off. So the difference is from where that pink marker, so you can see the difference. So I did make them shorter because I don't like them too. I realised I tried them on, they were too long. So like I said, I took them out. So I've done the first heel and the heel flap, and I'm just working on the foot. And he said the leg then, I'm working on the foot. So that one is done. I've got one more increased set to do on that, and then whatever the pattern says to do plain before I actually do the heel turn bit. Yeah, the heel turn in the contrast. So I'm quite pleased how they're doing. They're coming out nice and simple. And at the moment I'm still not able to walk and knit because my leg won't let me, which is fine. It is a bit better. There is on your hip, where your hip bone is, there's a bit, and it has a name. I can't think what it's called. I keep forgetting what it's called, and it's like a swelling part inside. It's a bit where you can get arthritis, and luckily I don't have any, but it's what I hurt, and it's just going to take a while. It can take months. It could take, and I've been giving you tablets off the doctor, which was good. I was really pleased with that. Bursitis, I think it's called, but it's interfering with my leg itself, which is causing pain issues. Okay, so my new start, this is my birthday shawl. No, it's a blanket, it's not a shawl. I'm doing the Quadrophilia shawl blanket by KF Jones. I'll put a picture up here of it and who it's by, because I need to write it down in my book and I didn't. Let me just move my tablet so I end up knocking things. It's living in this bag at the moment. I normally don't live in this one, but I just grabbed a bag and stick it in. I need to actually find a proper one to actually put a blanket in. Okay, so it uses 24 20-gram minis. I'm just using whatever scrap yarn. One of my first minis is, so this is the colourway of the Head Over Heels in Olympus, and this is the other part of the colour. So it is the same yarn from this ball. They look different. So when I did my daughter's socks, I started at one end because she wants them slightly different, and then one colour ended up in one and it went up into the other colour, and then so even though they're identical socks from the same yarn, they're like fraternal twins. But yeah, so that shows you how much of a difference the pattern is. So I've done this. I'm working on 2 triangles, the 2 big, the 4 triangles put together. So this is the first section. I did 101 stitches. I do need to count how many rows it is to make sure the rows is the same as this, and the count should be the same, but we shall check when I come to do it. I still got that much, and then I will check it in a bit. These are my Knit Pro, these are my basics, these are my shorty ones. And oh, these ones are my, I'm going to swap these over to another pair of Knit Pro. So I have them on them because they're using my Chagoos at the moment. But I'm going to put them both on, some Knit Pro woods. So they're the same. So like I said, I'm just grabbing whatever scrap yarn I've got and put them together. So I did some more 20 grams. So you use 6 per side. So I just grab some and then I should just shove them in. They might get altered about. So that is my birthday knitting. So once I finish the other socks, I will be doing some birthday socks, which will be done on, which I shall start on my birthday. But I haven't brought the yarn down, so I've left that upstairs. So that is my first project. One of my main ones is to get socks done. My second one to get finished is my Skyline Tee by Toriu. I'm doing the third size which comes out a 42 inch. Yes. So my yarn is some Yarn Smith's Merino Sock Superwash in the soft mauve colourway. I have the other one wound up, and it's living on my Yarn Winder by Spring Fantasy. I love this thing. I would like to get. She does another one. It's like I think there's a new one she's brought out, and I can't remember if it's folds into. I know there's a new one that's different to this, but I do use this one all the time. My needles are a 3.25mm, and the rib, I'm on the rib, which is a US 2, which is a 2.75, and these are my Chagoo Woods. They're really comfortable. Had originally had them on the metal set, and I found they were a bit slippery, so I went over to the wood and it was a slightly bit better. So I have done that much, and I've got the sleeves. I do like the design on the shoulder, which comes down to this sleeve. I'm not quite sure how. When I do it, I will do what it says. Try the sleeve when I do the one sleeve. Try it on to make sure I like it. I don't like them too short. I don't mind this length. Sometimes I like them a little tiny bit longer. So it's coming out quite nice, and the length is nice. But once I've finished I'm not quite an inch on the rib. So once I do the rib, I shall measure it, and then we shall try it on and check in case I need to make it any longer, but it shouldn't need to. When I tried it on, it was fine. So it's living in that bag. I do need to actually make some more bags. It's living in that bag, which is quite nice and simple to live in. Right. So these are the two, my main two to get finished. So they are going to be, so that is like project 1. My other project. So I still have some, there's the last bit of yarn from my daughter's top. So I need to save that just in case I need it. Shouldn't do, because that was what I had left. And that was after I did the bands as well. So I'm doing, maybe one I pulled out is my Charlottery shawl from Stephen West. My yarn I'm using, I need to write down what the colourways are on the bands. I'm using some drops, no, not drops Nord. I'm using drops Flora, unless drops Nord is one of them. I need to check. I've got it on my Ravelry page. No, that's the second ball. And then I have a mohair. So they are my colours. I'm really pleased with the colours. I do like them. It was either this one or my Go-Go Dynamo, but the other one I'm going to actually take out when next time I go as typist. I want to actually have a couple of pairs of socks, a Musselburgh hat, a shawl, and some some gloves, some fingerless gloves, most probably, out there to keep, and also a cardigan as well. So like I said, I want to actually get some stuff done and take them out with me. So that is how much I've done. This is section 1. And I'm on section 2. I'm quite pleased how it's coming out. I do like how it's looking. And these are done on a 3.5mm, and these are my Knit Pro Novas. I tend to use these if it's a longer project. I will put them onto these ones and not my Chagoo. So, yeah, so they are those. So that's living in that bag. So that's up. And my extra yarn. So they are what I am working on. So I want to get, like I said, I want to get my skyline tee and my socks finished. Especially the socks, they have to be finished because I've altered them, and it's the first time I've done this pattern, and I've took them out a couple of times, which is fine. And then I have another pair of socks I want to start when they're done. But I did a muscle hat with that. Maybe I can take them out and then have it like matching socks. But I don't know. But I do know I should have, like I said, I've got some more of this. So I'm quite thinking this with the ruby. I need to check I've got enough of the ruby red to actually do it with the contrast. And then it's either a cowl as well. It's like I said, there's a few things I want to take out that will live out there all the time because we go out there enough. And if you heard that was the quarry. We have quarried in the village, and it might be 12:30. Check what time it is because it normally goes off at 12:30. It's exactly 12:30. So yeah, so they're blasting and it's quite close. You get sometimes where it's that close, things rattle, and it was close today. Sometimes it depends on where it is. So that shows you we're quite. It's only the other end of my village, so it's like that way over there. So yeah, so that went with a boom. I wasn't expecting that, but for now I shall leave it as that, and I shall do a video next week. Hopefully my leg will be feeling better. I'm still having to use my walking stick quite a bit, mainly when I'm out. When I'm in the house, not too bad because I can grab hold of things, but I can't walk too far or I end up limping, and my knee it cracks and tries to give way. So which is a bit annoying, but there's not much I can do at the moment. But I have actually got exercises for it. But that's about it. So I shall go and I shall do a video next week, and hopefully we'll have a couple of finishes. But for now I shall speak to you soon. I'll see you later. Bye.